So, the first step, we're going to go through all the components, okay? So this is the motherboard. This is what everything plugs into, hence the term mother. Memory goes here, processor goes here, graphics and other add-ons go here. Hard drives plug into these ports. We're going to be using SATA hard drives. Here is 1 terabyte hard drive. You got 2 of these. Here is our memory, 8 gigabytes. DVD ROMs, 2 of them. And our processor is the brains. It's an AMD 2, Phenom 2, quad core. Yes. And our power supply was going to be providing power to the computer, all the components. And this is our graphics card. And this is the card reader. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the motherboard. Here's our case. And here's our motherboard. And it's very important that you would take out any static before you touch any computer components. A lot of times people have static wristbands, but one way to do it is to touch something metal before you start touching computer components. This is our plate that comes with the motherboard that goes on the back of the case. I want you to come put this in. Okay, so it's important. When you're doing this, it's important to line up the components, the back of the motherboard, with how it's going to fit in the case. So this is how it's going to go. When we put it into the back of the case, it's going to go just like this. So this hole right here, I'm going to pop that in there. Okay, so there we are, right there. That's our bracket for the motherboard. So as you can see from the back, this is where the connections for all the peripherals will come out from the motherboard. So the next part is to line up the motherboard with the screws on the bottom of the board, of the case. As you can see, there's holes in the bottom of the case for the motherboard to be screwed down. So we're going to get our screws and we're going to line it up with the motherboard and screw those in. I'll do the first one, and then you can do the other ones. So basically, just take the mount, put it in the first hole, and just screw. And these can go hand tight. Okay. Okay. So the next one. going to screw down our motherboard to the mounts. Basically, we just use the screws that came with the case and we screw it into the mount holes. Now you want to firmly secure it to the board. You don't want to screw too tight and break the board. You just want to make sure it's firm and secure. Okay, so now we're going to put our case cover on. Here's our card reader. It has USB ports, SATA, and obviously ports to put in memory cards. Okay, so now that we have those in, we need to lock them down. So come on in here. Now we want to make sure that they're flush before we lock them down. All right. So you push this forward until it all the way. There you go. Hey, hold on. And then there's this little toggle right here, locks it so this can't be moved back. Go ahead and push that down.
Push it down?
Not down, this push it this way. Like this. Yeah. Okay, so do that for this one too. And then for the card reader. Okay, push it down. Alright. Alright, so now these are secure. And they're so these are secured in, and they won't. You push them, and they won't come out. So now we're going to move on to our hard drives. So our hard drives are going to go into these slots right down here. Okay, so go ahead and pull one of those hard drives out. Make sure you touch something right up to it. Okay. So our hard drives, 1 terabyte SATA hard drives. And they just slide right in on these railings. And voila. Go ahead and put the other one in. So this is the back, front, bottom, top. just slide it into the metal railings right there. Okay, so now we can do the same thing that we did with the DVD drives. So we do the same thing we did with the DVD drives to lock them down. So you push this forward, keep pushing it forward till it clicks, and then push this down to lock it. And the same thing with that. You push it down to lock it, and there you go. Hard drives are now installed. So once everything is installed, then we'll start plugging up all the cables and peripherals. So the next thing we need to install is our video card. So here is our video card. It's an NVIDIA Quadro 2000. Very powerful card, 1 gigabyte of memory. So the next thing is going to be the power supply. So Kayla, that's the process. That's going to be like the last thing. Power supply. We have a 430 watt power supply. So now we're going to screw our power supply into place. Make sure the holes line up with the holes on the case. Make sure it screws there. Yeah. Now we're going to put in our CPU, the brains of the whole operation. So this is where the CPU sits, right here. So here's our CPU. Okay, so CPU only goes in one way. Now there's an arrow here on the CPU which shows you where how to place it, and there's an arrow here on the board that shows you where to line it up. So first things first, you must raise this lever to get the CPU to put before you put the CPU in, and then you gently set the CPU down until it goes in flush. And once you have it in, you just put some light pressure on it and you lock the lever into place. And there we go, we have our processor installed. Now the next part is to put on the CPU fan. And we bought a retail version of the AMD CPU. So it has the silicone gel here. If you buy an OEM version, you'll need to buy your own silicone paste to put on the processor before you put the fan on. Because the CPU gets very hot, this is very important to have. You don't want metal on metal without the paste. This helps cool it down. Okay. And this here is our CPU fan, the power to the CPU fan. And it will also, this will plug into the motherboard right here. So first we must seat the fan onto the motherboard. Now this is a little tricky. Each side of the fan has a bracket, so I usually put the side without the lever on first, and then put the side with the lever on second. Okay, so now that is in. Now once you get it down, and then you pull the lever over to lock it in place. And now that is locked in. Now we will connect the CPU, I'm sorry, the fan for the CPU to the motherboard. And voila, there we go. So now we can start plugging up all of our different components. These are the connectors for the front panels. It's like the USB, the FireWire. So these are gonna have to, in the audio. So these are gonna have to go and be plugged into the board. So the connections, come over here. So take a look. Okay. So the connections for these are right here. Most of them, and then some of them, there's one back there. So the first thing we'll connect is the CPU fan. I'm sorry, the case fan. We're just gonna plug it into the power right here. That's designed for the fan. And voila, there we go. Now this fan has power.
How do you know where to plug it?
There's always one close to it. And if not, if it doesn't have one, then we use these to supply the power to it. Okay. So, first things first, let's see. So this is USB, this first one. So we're gonna grab one of these USB thingies. And you wanna get your cords kind of at least organized in the beginning. So just take this, and it's key to only go one way. Just plug it in there, voila. So the next one is USB, so I'm gonna let you do this one. So it only goes in, you see this right here where there's no hole? So that there's no pin on this one right here. So that's the way it goes down, just like that.
Oh, in here?
And you see the blue right here?
Oh, the blue one.
Yeah. So make sure your lines up. So you can see here, the HD audio is back here. Okay. So we'll just let's see. So it's keyed to go only in one way. And again, so the audio on the front is not connected.
Bingo.
So now that pretty much have everything plugged in, I'm going to put the case on. The side back on.
Here's your screws.
Unscrew those in. Unscrew those in for me.
We're at. Don't you need a screwdriver for this?
That's why they're all like fat right there. Just hand tight. You having some issues with that?
It's not going in.
In the right hole?
It does go here. It's a hole in the cement.
I see that.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
What?
To left,
No.
To right, to
Yeah.
okay.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
No.
Yeah.
What
That's
do
how
you
I
mean
remember
no?
my stuff.
Because I'm a lefty and I feel like you're being discrimination.
Leftist?
No.
I'm being leftist.
No, you're being discrimination.
Like that. Okay. We're gonna try. So you can put your other hand over here. Push this right here. Push it down. There you go. Push it down like this. Oh, you had it. Oh, you broke it.